Hello guys, and welcome back for another video. I know it's been a long time since I've done my last video, but I decided to change the format a little bit. Always talking about video games. I love video games, but I don't always want to talk about them. I will still do the games of the big reviews, but I decided today was the perfect time to start with TV show reviews. And the first one that we're going to be talking about today is episode 1 of The Last of Us. Now, I watched this 2 days ago now, so it's played on my mind on how good I think it is. It's great. I'm not going to keep quiet about that. They done a great job. And the first off I want to cover is the casting. Joe Pesci, Bella Ramsey, Anna Torv, they absolutely nailed the part. Especially Anna Torv. She actually got Tess, who I wasn't not that keen on as a character, and she's actually added to this, and she's made it a lot more interesting, and hopefully she can add more depth to this character than what there was in the game. Joe Pesci as Joe, Bella Ramsey as Ellie, absolutely knocked it out of the park. They were absolutely fucking amazing. Okay, so that's the actors part. You can look up their careers. Anna Torv was in Fringe, one of my favourite TV shows. Bella Ramsey and Pedro were also in Game of Thrones. As you know, they played iconic parts in this show, and they actually done great in this show. They both died to extremely large characters. Yes, Bella the Giant and Pedro, who played the Viper, died to the Mountain in a great fashion, really great style. One of my favourite death scenes. You need to go back and watch Game of Thrones for this. But now we're not here to talk about Game of Thrones. We're here to talk about The Last of Us episode 1. Now it starts a little bit similar to the game with Sarah, Joe's daughter. Joel's daughter. It's a little bit before the outbreak. The outbreak happens on Joel's birthday, which I believe was the 25th or the 26th of September. And they change it a little bit in the show. We do get more time to spend with Sarah. Obviously, the show needed this. In the game, straight away, you're playing as Sarah, you're interacting with her. It's much more easier for us to get a connection with the character in the game than what it is in the show. So, the way that the outbreak is done, it explains to you certain things about the outbreak. The cordyceps fungi is actually real. It actually exists in this world, but it cannot affect humans because our body temperature is too high. But it does infect insects like ants, moths, butterflies and stuff like this. And what it does is it actually affects the brain, and it acts in an aggressive way, and it actually will start attacking colonies of other ants. So the ant that is infected will climb up a tree. The fungi grows out of the head, the eyes, the ears, the mouth. My wife loved that moment. It was great. And it actually drops spores down onto the rest of the colony. It transforms them basically into zombies, and then they will go to other colonies, climb the trees and infect other colonies. But in The Last of Us, global warming, yes, has made our body temperatures rise of the insects. So obviously the fungi has evolved to now it can invade the brains of higher level body temperatures. That is us, yes? And this is where the show starts with a great scene, and it will explain this to you. For once we know in a show that what happened and called the zombie outbreak, I will call zombies, they're not really zombies, and these zombies, they evolve, yes? You have the runners, you have the ones, I can't remember what they're called, the ones that stand still, the clickers, bloaters, and they eventually go on to the Rat King. The Rat King is a very rare creature that takes about 25 years to evolve. They are not in the first game, it's actually in the second game. Abby fights one in the second game for the first time. But going back to the show, After the outbreak, the spoiler, and Sarah's death, Joel is left broken. Yes, he has literally, he's just surviving. He has no belief in anything. He's lost all control of his thoughts, and this is why it shows you scenes where Joel is happy to burn dead bodies of children. Yes, and the great scene where Ellie and Joel meet for the first time in the show is different to the game. I will go into a little bit what is different about the game and the show, but in the show they meet under slightly different circumstances. In the game, Marlene buys guns from a guy called Robert. Now Robert stole the guns from Joel, and Joel goes to get the guns back. He kills Robert, but then Marlene turns up, who is the leader of the Fireflies, and she basically won't give him the guns back because she bought them, and so she tasks Joel with escorting and smuggling Ellie out of a city that is in lockdown. Now the reason why they want to smuggle Ellie out of the town is because she is immune to the virus. She got bit, and 3 weeks later she still hasn't started turning. So Joel is now tasked with getting her out of the city. That goes to shit, and then basically Joel is now tasked with actually taking Ellie right across America to the Fireflies. They have a great journey. Season 1 is going to cover this. It's beautiful, really good story, really violent, and I like the world of The Last of Us and how they build on this. The characters are really, really important. In the game, it's a little bit different. Ellie is still immune, yes, but Anna Torv's character, Tess, she's actually trying to get a battery back from Marlene. And then they make a deal with Marlene to escort Ellie out of the town. And this is basically when the first, I thought I was watching a film. It felt like a film. It was so well done. But the end of the episode is basically when Ellie gets found out that she is immune by Joel and Tess, and then they realise how important she is. So they have to try and get her to the Fireflies. I'm not putting no spoilers in for the next episode. I know basically what's going to happen, and it's going to develop well. I'm very happy with this show. It actually surprised me that now we have a video game version of a TV show or a movie that is absolutely great. I would advise people to start watching this show. If you've not played the game, don't play it. Watch the show first, and then in 10 weeks when the show is finished, go back and play the game. For me, the very first episode, very quick review, I'm keeping it under 10 minutes. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I'm not giving it a 10 because I want to see what the rest of the show gives. If there's better episodes, then I have to give them a 10. Yes? But if the episodes are not quite as good as the first one, then I would say the first one is an absolute 10. Guys, this is the best show I've seen in many years. If you love zombies, if you like the end of the world and character building and how amazing it is, then I guarantee you watch this show and you will love it. Guys, I hope this video is okay. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to put intros in. Next time I'm going to put photos of the characters when I'm talking about them so you can understand. I will also do an episode when I'm comparing the games to the show. I platinumed both the games. I know the story very well. My wife knows the story because the amount of time she's watched me play the games, she's forgotten little bits though. Okay, so guys, please continue watching this. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. Expect more reviews dropping throughout the week, a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm going to do a review on this, guys. It's the God of War Lore and Legends book from the 2018 game. People say it's the first game. It's not. The 2004 was the first game, yes? The Greek story. But I will cover this next review. It'll be about 3-4 minutes long. Guys, thank you again for tuning in. I hope to hear and see more of you in the future. and I will be doing a paranormal channel, probably called The Geek Room Classified, and I'm running with that at the moment. I quite like that, but if you have good ideas for my paranormal channel, put comments in the links below and I will take them to heart and I will look into them. Thank you for everyone for listening. Have a great day. It's snowing in Poland, but you know, enjoy life and keep it cool. Okay? Thank you guys and goodbye.